A monstrous natural disaster entered the history of the province as the largest flood in the last 60 years. The death toll from devastating floods in and around Durban rose to 306, the government said on Wednesday, after roads and hillsides were washed away by collapsed houses. The heaviest rains in 60 years hit the Durban municipality known as eThekwini. According to AFP, the storm was the deadliest on record in South Africa. We have been informed that the death toll from flooding in KwaZulu province, KwaZulu-Natal, has risen to 306, said Disaster Management Agency spokeswoman Nonala Ndlovu. Her office said the death toll was one of the darkest moments in the province's history. Earlier, according to information, Ndlovu named 259 dead. President Cyril Ramaphosa called the floods a catastrophe and a calamity. Bridges have been destroyed. Roads have been destroyed. People have died, he said, adding that one family lost 10 people. At least 248 schools were damaged. This is a catastrophe of enormous proportions, he said, addressing the local community after inspecting flood damage. The search for the missing is still outgoing, Ramaphosa said, promising nothing to regret in the aftermath of the disaster and offering assistance to those affected. This disaster is part of climate change. We can no longer put off what we need to do to deal with climate change. Other houses hung precariously on the hillside, miraculously surviving after much of the ground beneath them was washed away by landslides. Meanwhile, a dozen crocodiles reported missing from breeding ponds after heavy rains flooded a crocodile farm near Durban have been recaptured. The storm forced sub-Saharan Africa's most important port to suspend operations as the main access road was badly damaged. The cargo containers were scattered, washed away into the mountains of metal that towered above the elevated roads. Sections of other roads were washed away, leaving depressions larger than large trucks in the ground. The main roads were choked with trees and dirt so deep that bulldozers were called in to clear it. Road barriers lay twisted like pipe brushes along the roadside. South Africa's neighbors are hit by such natural disasters almost every year due to tropical storms, but Africa's most industrialized nation is largely immune to storms that form over the Indian Ocean. As the storms reached a warmer and wetter climate in KZN's Durban province, more rain came down. Some parts of KZN have received more than 450 millimeters, 18 inches, of rain in the last 48 hours, said Tawana Dipuo, weather forecaster for the National Meteorological Service. This represents almost half of Durban's annual rainfall of 1,009 millimeters.